Okay, guys, so we're going to talk about Boris Yeltsin because this is actually really, really interesting. So, as some of you may know, and I have a theory about this, right? Theresa May is stepping down. So, there is going to be a challenge for the Tory leadership. Now, at the end of the day, they are concerned that Boris Johnson might put his hand up because he is a strong Brexiteer. He wants a hard Brexit exit, right? He's like, no, we're leaving, flipping the table, we're walking out, we're leaving, right? Subsequently, after the media went on about the fears of Boris Yeltsin going through and becoming PM, they've now all of a sudden appeared to order him in court. It's weird. I've seen this before in the UK. It's Tommy Robinson, where they tried to get him into court when he announced he was going to become an MEP. But anyway, Boris Johnson ordered to appear in court over $350 million claim. Okay. Boris Johnson has been ordered to appear in court over a claim he lied about saying the UK gave the EU £350 million a week. The Tory leadership candidate has been accused of misconduct in public office after making the claim during the 2016 EU referendum campaign. It's a private prosecution launched by a campaigner, Marcus Bell, who crowdfunded £200,000 for the case. The source close to Mr. Johnson called it a politically motivated attempt to revert Brexit. His lawyers' argument it was a stunt. The preliminary hearing will take place at Westminster Court and the case will be then sent to the Crown Court for trial. Now, Boris Yeltsin's also the man who went through and accused Muslim women of looking like letterboxes. Not saying he's wrong or right. But at the end of the day, the BBC assistant political editor Norman Smith said the allegations could not come at a worse time for Mr. Johnson, as his critics are likely to use the claims against him in the upcoming contest to become the next Tory leadership. Imagine my surprise. It's like it's all planned, isn't it? The $350 million figure was used by the pro-Brexit Vote Leave group through the referendum. It's also appeared on the side of a campaign bus, which urged the UK to fund the NHS instead. The former Foreign Secretary faces the 3 allegations of misconduct in public office between the 21st of February 23rd of June 2016 and between the April 18 and May 3rd 2017. The first period covers the time in which the campaign for a leave vote in the EU referendum, while the second one covers the general election campaign that year. Mr. Ball's lawyer lodged an application on Friday to summon Mr. Johnson's claim that while an MP and Mayor of London, he deliberately misled the public during the first campaign and repeated his statement during the second campaign. It's funny, these guys that oppose Brexit just seem to be having these PR campaigns waged against them. It's like there's someone in the EU or in the UK that doesn't want them to actually leave, right? It's weird that, and it's funny because the mainstream media keeps trying to prop up this guy who's a soft Brexiter. Oh, really? Interesting. Lewis Power QC, who represents Mr. Ball, said Mr. Johnson's conduct had been both irresponsible and dishonest. Like, for example, smearing a guy and, because of, you don't like him and he was possibly going to be running for the Tory leadership. But anyway, Democrats demand responsibility and honest leadership for those in public office, he said. Look, at the end of the day, is this likely to hold up in court? Probably not. This is going to be used by them because they can go through and then use it to smear against him when he runs against the Tory Prime Minister or for the Prime Minister's job. But Boris Johnson faces trial for allegedly lying and misleading the British public about the consequences of Brexit. A judgment summoned the Conservative MP to appear in court after a member of the public launched a private prosecution over claims EU membership was costing the UK £350 million a week. Now, the interesting thing is that he's not the person that actually came up with this, from my understanding. My understanding is that this is a campaign that was used by the Brexiteers, which would be before they're charging him with this. So, I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, even if he made this statement or this argument and he was the one who came up with it, good luck. I think this is more of a PR stunt. This is so that they can go through and they can brand him in the media, because at the end of the day, they do not want Boris Johnson to run as a Tory MP, because they know that he is going to give a hard Brexit. And they don't want that. Brexit does not want that. The EU does not want Brexit to do a hard leave. Because if they don't do a soft, they're not going to be able to maintain control. This is the thing, right? Hard Brexit. The UK flips the table and walks out. The EU has no power, no control. Everything has to be recontracted or renegotiated, right? Soft Brexit is possibly the EU still having some measure of control over the UK, depending on the deal and whatnot. Like, you tell me why you think they're going after Boris Johnson. So, yeah. Right, so Boris Johnson, just happens to come straight after the announcement of his leadership bid. They are scared of him. They know he will deliver Brexit, so they are scared. Exactly right, Centaur. Yeah, exactly. Jellies, Boris Johnson. Centre, he opposes the burqa for safety reasons. Hats off to him. Hats off and burqas off to him, I would say. I've heard that the British MSN is even worse than the US. It actually would be, yes. At least you have... Yeah. At least you have Fox News over there, which is still a military-industrial complex, I'll say. It is. MSN is so terrible. All MSN in the UK is left biased apart from one or two papers like the Daily Mail. And there's still establishment too, obviously, Centaur. So, yeah, like Fox News over in the US is still establishment. Like, for example, Sky News here is still establishment. It's paid oppo. They're still going to go through and push a war agenda in the military-industrial complex. But yeah, guys, I really do think that this whole Boris Johnson thing is a farce. I think this is just so they can go through and smear him, because at the end of the day, they don't want him to run for the leadership in the Tories. But yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below.